Ahoy! New World received a new small patch with a very questionable change, as well as getting a free Steam weekend, so I quickly wanted to talk about that part too. The Steam weekend starts basically today and will be going on until the 19th of December, 10 AM PT. But more important for us, here are the changes from the patch. First off, the Expedition AI fix to Endpoint Hero makes it so that they cannot end up being unkillable anymore if one died too soon after the other. The Winter Warrior can no longer be body blocked by players, and the Ice Gauntlet gets a change to its mechanics. You can now only exit from Entomb after you have been fully entombed, and holding right mouse button will no longer work to cancel the animation or the effect. So this effectively means that it takes a bit longer to cancel Ice Tomb and you won't be able to use it as easily as an instant cleanse. Sun Shield has a fix where defensive formation's fortify status could incorrectly be removed from a player when two players were using it near each other. The Musket gets very important fixes that we have been waiting for. On one hand, the Musket was able to fire multiple shots, that's now fixed, and on the other hand, the double shot issue from Power Shot or Powder Burn is also fixed. There's a notable fix here saying fixed an issue where certain AoE abilities wouldn't work when going between multiple AoEs of differing attributes. I'm not entirely sure what this is referring to, so if anyone knows more about this, let me know in the comments. On the economy and progression side, there will now be more timeless shots dropping from Starstone. Simon Grey and Grongul the Regent should now drop timeless shots, which they didn't previously or under only very specific circumstances very rarely. Unfortunately, there is no mention of Obsidian Gypsum here or of the craft mod for, I think, Freedom that should normally drop from Starstone or drops from the normal version, so I'm hoping that we get that in the future too. Heart of Maahebgal no longer has an increased critical chance perk, instead has a poisoning perk, which is very interesting and a very strange choice. So this is a change that was already announced in previous patches. It was first on PTR, then it was on the first version of this patch of 1.80, and it never happened, and now it's finally happening, and I don't know what is up with this, because this was made kind of as a response to a change to another ring, which I think had multiple mage effects. I think it was Keen and then fire damage or something. And they only targeted Heart of Maahebgal, and that makes no sense to me. If this is about illegal perks, as they say it is, then there are tons of other items that would have to be affected by this as well, because there are many items that have illegal perk combinations. And if we look at other rings, even from Brimstone Sands alone, then we can look, for example, at Legate's ring, which pretty much has the same combination of effects, only that it is better for PvE, whereas Heart of Maahebgal is probably a bit better for PvP. But then in PvP, you can also use Champion's Ring, which comes with a PvP perk that is almost the same thing, though in that case, those perks are not illegal in combination, because for some reason it's classified differently, which also doesn't really make any sense. The devs have said they specifically uniquely don't want to combine singular damage perks like that are only for one specific type of damage with Keen, but then Keen isn't even a specific type of damage, I guess, unless you want to count crit damage as a specific type, but I wouldn't see it that way considering the other specific types of damage are just referring to one kind of weapon. So I don't know what the idea with the consistency here is, and if they are planning to change all the other rings as well, or if this is a one-off change. It would, in my eyes, be extremely weird if it was, so either they'd have to be consistent with it, or it would just be an extremely strange outlier. It also leaves us in this limbo where we don't quite know which gear is worth farming or upgrading. Fortunately, I guess in a way, you cannot farm the Gate's ring at the moment because it only drops from the chests in Brimstone Sands and not from a specific mob, so it's more of a random drop anyways, but if you get one, then how would you know if it's worth upgrading or if it's gonna get changed? So I would definitely like to see some clarity on this. Fast travel costs were apparently sometimes calculated incorrectly and is resulting in double costs, so that should be fixed. And for expeditions, an inaccurate timer was removed from the group finder queue display, which just showed random numbers sometimes, and also fixed an issue where players could bypass the character transfer cooldown. I'm not sure how that one relates to expeditions. A visual issue with the Death Coronation skin was fixed where the cape would disappear, and leaderboards achievements have been removed, and these will also be reset upon the launch of the leaderboards. With this patch, a lot of chests in Brimstone's hands were actually broken and not lootable. That one is fixed again. And Scorpio Supernal was apparently spawning too quickly. So I'm very curious about this one. I have checked him out since the patch, and I was going to talk about that, and I didn't realize there was a bug, so I'll have to check again now to see how often he spawns now and what's the deal with that now. There were also issues with Imhotep's spawn behavior in the place of pillars, namely that he was spawning way too infrequently, so that should hopefully be fixed. And interacting with either element of the chest during the Ancient Glyphs quest will no longer block progression. Generally a lot of solid fixes for probably the last patch before the winter break here, but I'm still not sure what's up with the rings, so we'll see about that one in the future. If you'd like to see more New World related videos, please consider subscribing and clicking the bell. In the next days we'll talk about an interesting changed farm, as well as upcoming MMOs. I still haven't gotten around to it, because we had this patch now, but I'll do it soon. So, stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching. Sloth out.